Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Life and Faith with Primrose. I am so grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with me. In the first episode, we spoke about what faith is. In the second episode, we spoke about living by faith when life feels uncertain. In the third episode, we spoke about finding peace in the storm. Today, I want us to talk about something that can affect every part of our lives, the thoughts we keep repeating to ourselves. There is a conversation happening inside every one of us. Sometimes it is quiet, sometimes it is encouraging, but sometimes it becomes harsh, fearful, and exhausting. We may not say the words out loud, but inside we may be saying, I am not good enough. Nothing will ever change. I always get it wrong. Nobody understands me. I am too late. I cannot do this. When we repeat these thoughts long enough, they can start to feel like facts. They can shape the way we see ourselves, the way we speak to people, the opportunities we take, and even the way we approach God. That is why renewing the mind is so important. Renewing the mind does not mean pretending that every difficult thought disappears in one day. It does not mean forcing ourselves to be cheerful when life is painful. It means learning to bring our thoughts into the light. It means learning to ask, is this thought true? Is it helpful? Is it leading me toward wisdom, hope, and faith? Or is it leading me into shame, fear, and isolation? Maybe your mind feels tired today. Maybe you have been carrying the same negative thought for years. Please hear this. You are not trapped by every thought that enters your mind. A thought can arrive, but you do not have to give it a permanent home. You can learn to notice it. You can learn to question it. You can learn to bring it to God. You can learn to choose a truer, kinder, wiser response. Let us be honest. Life gives us many reasons to worry. We experience disappointment, rejection, pressure, loss, mistakes, and uncertainty. Sometimes someone says something hurtful and the words stay with us. Sometimes we make one mistake and tell ourselves that we are a failure. Sometimes we see somebody else succeeding and start believing that our own life has no value. But feelings are not always facts. A feeling may tell you that you are alone, even while there are people who care for you. A feeling may tell you that there is no way forward, even while one small next step is still possible. A feeling may tell you that you are weak, even while you are carrying more than many people can see. Your feelings are real. They deserve compassion, but they are not meant to be the only voice that leads your life. Sometimes we confuse three different things: facts, feelings, and fearful stories. A fact is something that has actually happened. You did not get the job. The relationship ended. You received a difficult message. You made a mistake. These things may be painful, and we should not deny them. A feeling is your emotional response. You may feel sad, disappointed, embarrassed, worried, angry, or tired. Those feelings are important signals. They show us that something needs care and attention. But then there can be a fearful story. The fearful story may say, I did not get this job, so I will never succeed. This relationship ended, so nobody will ever love me. I made a mistake, so I am useless. I am feeling anxious, so my whole life is falling apart. Do you see the difference? A fact may be true. A feeling may be real. But the fearful story can be much bigger than the truth. Renewing your mind is learning to pause between the fact, the feeling, and the story. It is learning to say, this is what happened. This is how I feel. But what else might be true? For example, perhaps the truth is, I did not get that opportunity, and I feel disappointed. But this does not mean I have no future. I can learn, apply again, ask for feedback, and trust God with the next door. Perhaps the truth is, this person hurt me, and I feel sad. But their behavior does not define my worth. I can seek support, set a boundary, and heal with time. Perhaps the truth is, I made a mistake. I feel embarrassed, but I can take responsibility, apologize if necessary,
learn from it, and begin again. Truth makes space for pain without allowing pain to write the whole story. The first way to renew your mind is to pause and notice the thought. When a negative thought comes, do not immediately believe it. Do not immediately fight with it for an hour either. Simply notice it. You can say, I am having the thought that I am not good enough. Notice the difference between saying, I am not good enough, and saying, I am having the thought that I am not good enough. The first sentence feels like an identity. The second sentence creates space. It reminds you that this thought is something you are noticing, not something that has the final authority over you. You may be thinking, I am going to fail. Try saying, I am having a fear that I may fail. You may be thinking, nobody cares. Try saying, I am feeling lonely, and I am having a thought that nobody cares. This is not about using fancy words. It's about giving your heart a moment to breathe before you believe the loudest thought in the room. The second way to renew your mind is to name the feeling beneath the thought.
Negative thoughts are often trying to protect a deeper feeling. If you keep thinking, I am not good enough, perhaps beneath that thought is fear of rejection. If you keep thinking, I have to do everything perfectly, perhaps beneath that thought is pressure or a fear of disappointing people. If you keep thinking, nothing will work out, perhaps beneath that thought is exhaustion from waiting. When you name the feeling, you can bring the real issue to God. You can pray, God, I am afraid of rejection. God, I feel ashamed. God, I am tired of waiting. God, I feel lonely. God is not offended by honest prayer. You do not have to hide behind strong words. You can bring the real feeling. You can bring the tears. You can bring the frustration. You can bring the questions. The third way to renew your mind is to test the thought. Ask yourself a few gentle questions. Is this thought completely true? What evidence supports it? What evidence does not support it? Is this thought helping me take a wise step? Would I speak to a friend the way I am speaking to myself? Sometimes we are very kind to everybody else and very cruel to ourselves. We would encourage a friend who made a mistake. We would tell them that one failure does not define their future. We would remind them that they are loved. But when it comes to ourselves, we become harsh and unforgiving. Let us practice speaking to ourselves with both truth and grace. Grace does not mean ignoring responsibility. It means remembering that we are human, that we can learn, and that we are allowed to begin again. The fourth way to renew your mind is to replace the thought with truth. This is not about pretending that every difficult situation is easy. It is about choosing a truth that is stronger than fear. Instead of, I am not enough, you can say, my worth is not based only on what I achieve. I am loved, I am learning, and I can grow. Instead of, I will never get through this, you can say, this is difficult, but I have survived difficult days before. I can take one step at a time. Instead of, I am behind, you can say, my journey has its own timing. I can be faithful with today. Instead of, nobody understands me, you can say, I may feel lonely, but I can reach out. I can ask for prayer. I can choose connection instead of isolation. Instead of, I have ruined everything, you can say, I may have made a mistake, but I can repair what I can, learn what I need to learn, and begin again. Write down the truths that speak to your own life. Keep them where you can see them. Put them in your notebook, on your mirror, or in your phone. Read them when your mind is tired. Read them especially when you do not feel like reading them. Truth is sometimes quiet. It may not feel dramatic, but truth, repeated gently and consistently, can change Now I want us to do a guided truth and thought journal together. If you have a notebook, a piece of paper, or the Notes app on your phone, take it out. If you cannot write right now, you can simply think through the questions. First, write one thought that has been weighing on you. Be honest. It might be, I am not good enough. I am afraid of the future. I feel like I am behind. Or I cannot do this. Now write the feeling underneath the thought. Is it fear, shame, loneliness, grief, pressure, exhaustion, disappointment? You do not need to judge the feeling. Just name it honestly. Next, write the fact. What has actually happened? Keep it simple and specific. Then write the fearful story. What conclusion is your mind trying to make? Is it saying that the situation will never change? Is it saying that you are worthless? Is it saying that you are alone forever? Now ask yourself one important question. What else is true? Perhaps you can write, this is hard, but I am not alone. I have made mistakes, but I can learn. I do not know the future, but I can take the next wise step. I feel afraid, but I can ask for help. Or I am tired, and rest is allowed. Take a slow breath. Read the truth you have written. Let yourself sit with it for a moment. You do not have to solve everything today. You only need to recognize what is true and choose one small next step. When you are ready, write one action you can take today. It does not have to be big. Perhaps you will send one message. Perhaps you will make an appointment. Perhaps you will tidy one small space. Perhaps you will pray. Perhaps you will rest. Perhaps you will forgive yourself for a mistake and begin again. One wise action can help a true thought become part of your life. In a moment, I will give you quiet time with this reflection. Stay with your page, stay with the truth, and allow God to meet you in the next faithful step. I want to give you a 7-day renewing the mind practice. This is not a test, and you do not need to do it perfectly. It is simply a gentle way to build a new pattern of truth, grace, and wise action. On day 1, notice one recurring negative thought. Write it down without judgment. Do not fight with it, just notice it. On day 2, identify the feeling underneath that thought. Is it fear, shame, loneliness, pressure, grief, or tiredness? Bring that feeling honestly to God in prayer. On day 3, separate the fact from the fearful story. Ask yourself, what do I know? And what am I assuming? On day 4, write one truthful replacement statement. Keep it simple, kind, and realistic. It may be, this is hard, but I can take one step at a time. On day 5, choose one wise action that supports the truth. It may be a conversation, a small task, rest, prayer, or asking for help. On day 6, practice gratitude. Write down 3 good things, even if they are small. Gratitude helps us remember that difficult things are not the only things in our story. On day 7, look back over the week. What thought lost some of its power? What truth helped you? What next step do you want to continue? You do not need to renew your whole mind in 1 week. Be patient with yourself. This is a daily journey. Every time you pause, notice, test, and return to truth, you're building a new pathway of faith. Take a quiet moment now and choose which day you will begin with. Let your first small step be enough for today. Before we finish, I want to pray for you. Father, I pray for every person listening today. You know the thoughts they carry quietly. You know the words they have been repeating to themselves. You know the places where fear, shame, regret, or disappointment have become heavy. Please bring light to every dark thought. Help each listener recognize what is true and release what is not. Give them compassion for themselves, wisdom for the next step, and courage to ask for help when they need it. For the person who feels not good enough, remind them that their worth is not based only on what they do. For the person who feels behind, remind them that their journey is still unfolding. For the person who feels afraid, remind them that they are not alone. For the person who has made a mistake, remind them that grace makes room for a new beginning. Let peace grow in their minds. Let truth become stronger than fear. Let hope return, even if it returns slowly. And help each person to take one faithful step today. Amen. Thank you for spending this time with me on Life and Faith with Primrose. If this episode encouraged you, share it with someone who may need a reminder that they are not trapped by every negative thought. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What truth do you want to remember this week? Remember this: a thought can arrive, but it does not have to become your truth. You can pause, you can pray, you can choose what is true, and you can take one faithful step at a time. Until next time, take care of yourself, keep the faith, and remember, life does not have to be hard. We are in this together, one day at a time.